It's showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Next Real Saturday Matinee, a fine, and I believe this marks our final Saturday Matinee before the Christmas holiday. I'm Pete Wright, and I'm here with Ocean Murph.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Am I spoiling?
Wow, you swallowed that one. Wow. Merry Christmas. And Tom Metz.
Happy belated Hanukkah, everyone.
I want to just apologize for calling you Tom just then.
That's okay.
Apparently it's not. You did tell me I should call you Tommy or Mr. Handsome.
Well, sometimes when people call me Tom, it makes me think that I'm in trouble. And I don't know why. I think it's because that's what my parents call me. And so, yeah, when they're like, sometimes people used to just call me Tom when they were mad at me. And so,
yeah, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody ever call you Thomas?
That's Peter.
Well, my real name is Thomas Wesley Metz III. That's the full boat.
It's a lot of bubble gum.
It's a lot.
That name.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds rich.
I like it. It sure does.
Sounds
a lot of heart.
Rich.
Hey, what's on your watch list, guys? What are you watching as we cruise into vacation season? What's up, Ocean?
Well, I am finishing up so from a movie standpoint, my future tense is, I'm going to stay on brand. I'm going to watch Spider-Man, The Matrix, and those are the main two. Then, of course, I'm also going to go see the Underdog movie. Not Underdog as in the cartoon character, but it's called The Real Underdog, I believe is the name of the title. It's the movie about Kurt Warner and his.
That was a trailer pick a while back. Yeah.
So I'm going to go check that out. It is a type of movie that my mother will like, and she's coming down and visiting us for Christmas, so we'll see that. So it's
your mother's big into sports movies.
Well, I think she's just into the sports movie, that formula, right? The formula of you have the underdog is striving to do a thing, and then at the end there's going to be a game, and then they have to overcome, and just the feelings and emotions of all that. And so
sports movies make me a fan.
Yeah,
a straight up fan.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about them, but God, I feel like a powerful 100-foot man when I watch sports movies.
So
I can do that. Yells Pete like in the middle of the theater, and everyone's like, hockey. I don't know.
You don't. Yeah. You. That's pretty much as close as I get to ice is drinking it. That's it. Yeah. But I
understand. I have never played a second of hockey either. But when I saw Miracle, I was like, well, you know what? I could take in the Russians too. It'd have been fine.
Totally.
It'd have been totally. I scored more goals. It would have been so close.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay, so your holiday is pretty much action, and that plays into one of our stories I'm excited to talk to you about because you couldn't read it. Tommy, what do you have going on?
I am watching The Good Fight. I don't care about Paramount Plus, but what I do is I loved The Good Wife, and then when The Good Fight started on Paramount Plus, I wait until the entire season's done, and then I watch it all real quick in 2 weeks, or I get a free trial because I have one of my email addresses is @gmail.com, and I use that if I have like a new credit card, and so I'm in the middle of that, and it's outstanding, and it is still the most angry show on television. It's still so angry. Do you know anything about it?
This is gonna surprise you. 3 things.
Yeah.
1, I have not watched a single episode of Succession. 2,
whoa.
I've never stop. I know. I've never seen Tiger King. Still, and 3, I know. Yeah, Tiger King. We've never seen Tiger King, and I know nothing about either
The Good Fight
or Good Wives.
Good Wife Fight.
Nothing.
Well, I disagree with you on one of those. Succession just ended, and I thought the ending was so good. God, I missed that show already. It's so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I actually, I had times, Succession fans, you'll understand what I mean when I'm like, I'm crying over Kendall. Because Kendall is the worst, and I'm tearing up because of some of the things that he's put through. So,
hey, Roman was the real victim. He had to wait 3/4 of an hour for a gin and tonic. So.
That's a good point.
Yes. So let's
I think what you just said just defined why I'm not interested in that show. I really have to get past that line, the hour and a half for the gin and tonic.
Well, the 3/4 of an hour. Yeah.
Right. That makes it better.
It does. He was a real victim. Okay, so I think that Succession is great for multiple reasons. there's the overall plot line of story that is the through line of it, and the idea, all the kind of the ends you see of media moguls and then their families trying to then gain power in a company that is dominated by a single parent entity, right? So it's basically Murdoch from Fox and his kids,
right?
And so, but the part of it that is entertaining for me as well as a show is everybody's horrible. It's one of those things of where every time you think that you have found someone that you can latch onto and root for, they do something horrible, to where at the end of any given season, you're basically like, who am I rooting against the least? But it is so entertaining because you still want to know what happened next. And what they've done in this season, which I thought was also interesting as well as a whole, and I wonder if you think the same thing, Tommy, is that the way they ended it in a way that you assume there's going to be more seasons, but they've kind of wrapped everything up into a bow where they could just end the show now.
You think? Well, it has been approved for a season 4.
Okay, yeah.
HBO have ordered it. They ordered it like 2 episodes into this season.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I actually see it as kind of more of a cliffhanger, I thought, this season.
Yeah. I see, I can kind of see it without spoiling it for Pete, because I know Pete's going to rush out and, binge all 3 seasons when we're done recording.
Yep.
But
I can see what you mean.
I'm
if
not
it
actually
did
here right
end,
now.
that would be an appropriately gut punch ending.
Yes.
And would sort of work, but I'm so glad it's coming back.
As am I.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. So
it's just like 12 episodes, that kind of thing. It's each season.
3 10-episode seasons. Yes.
3 10-episode seasons.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I just have to get over the hump.
Well, it also is. I would argue Succession is one of those shows that the reason why I'm comfortable recommending it is if you watch the first episode of the first season, at the end of that episode, you'll know if you're in or not.
Yep, that's a great way to think about it.
Right?
Yes,
and so you're committed to an hour to find out, and then at the end of that hour, if you still don't like what you see, just turn it off, because then that means it's not for you.
All right, 1 hour. I never got through Mad Men. That might surprise you too. You remember? It was the same thing. I got through 3 episodes of that. Couldn't do it.
I'm catching up slowly on Breaking Bad.
Season 1, episode 3.
2.
Coming right up. 2.
Episode 2.
Excellent.
Because I forgot what happened in episode 2, so I went back one. I'm never watching that show. Okay.
Hey, I've got, so here's the thing. In the rundown, we've got some links from past week's host, Rob Cabasco, who shared a couple of things, and Tom immediately upvoted them. I don't know what they're about, but I assume they are your kind of thing, these links. Do you want to talk about them?
Well, are we afraid that they were talked about last week?
They weren't talked about, or they would be checked off.
Well, I didn't look at the articles, so no. I thought someone else put them in.
Well, someone else did, but when you upvoted them, I got real excited about it and thought, Tom clearly wants to talk about Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan, that's why. Mike Flanagan, I know that he's redoing The Fall of the House of the Usher, and I think I heard that it casts Frank Langella
Usher?
and Mark Hamill and Carla Gugino, because he always works with Carla Gugino. And so that's very exciting. Past that, I don't know anything about it because it's not a hyperlink. So I don't know how to click on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Yep. The internet has given. All right. I don't, you're a big fan. You're
enormous
a real
fan of Mike
Flanagan head.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished Midnight Mass because of what it turned out to be. No spoilers, but what the type of monster turned out to be is not something I'm traditionally interested in, but I've been told to keep with it. So I'm going to go back and finish it.
This is the one with the couples, the parents talking with each other?
No, Midnight. Oh, that's just Mass. That's
just Mass.
Mike Flanagan's Midnight Mass is his latest series on Netflix, and I was loving it. And then it showed its true face, and I was like, "That is not a kind of monster that I care about anymore."
If you were to say it right now, I am not watching it, and I don't care about being spoiled. But if you were to say it right now, I could beep it.
Oh, okay,
because I am now curious what that is.
Because you don't really find out until like the 3rd episode or something. But I can. Murph, you're fine? Ocean?
Oh my God! Yes, I have no idea what this is. I'm not watching it. Let's go.
That's got to be me and Ocean.
I'll
right
cover
there.
my face
fine.
too.
No lip readers.
And I don't care about them.
You don't care about those things?
No, traditionally I don't care at all about traditional old. Like if it was a Universal monster, I think its time has passed. We have better new monsters. I know it's a weirdo as such a horror fan, but I've always been very clear I'm not a classicist. And so I believe I like what they were, and they have important history, but it's not something that I'm interested in following along again.
So just out of curiosity, then, what is your favorite type of monster?
Supernatural. Like, all of those are supernatural. Probably like, probably like a demon or a ghost, or a big, or like a Freddy Krueger, someone that has a really big mythology.
Okay.
But I like it. So it's not really slashers, because I wouldn't consider Freddy Krueger necessarily just a slasher, because he's attacking you in your dreams. There's really a psychological element to it. But ghosts, demons, those are more my bag. Yeah.
And internal demons.
Yes.
As we've been talking about.
Correct.
Of late.
Correct.
Right. Internal, like you're battling your own.
Right.
Your own
also a
past and
descent
future
into
kind of a
madness.
thing.
And that's where demons
descent
come
into
in.
madness.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, this is a fun
fine.
Christmas episode.
Really fun.
A descent into
absolutely.
madness.
Well,
isn't
I only say that as a tie-in. I only say that as a tie-in because we were the community in a massive lampoon tricked us into doing Jacob's Ladder as our Christmas episode, because for about 5 seconds Santa rolls our protagonist and steals his wallet, and so that became the Christmas episode that we do this year, and that's Tom's fault because he put it in there.
Yes.
He suggested it, and so we did Jacob's Ladder.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
I've been very much on the record that Carol of the Bells is the scariest song in the entire world. It's by far the worst. Other than the worst holiday song is Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time by that jerk Paul McCartney. The scariest one is Carol of the Bells. Do you know which one Carol of the Bells is?
Isn't it ding, 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 ding?
Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells. Here come the bells.
Yeah.
They'll eat your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, so scary. Oh, I hate it. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That should have been our list. Scariest Christmas carol.
That should have been it.
It should have been. I do enjoy that song quite a bit, but now I really would like to get a copy of your lyrics, Tommy. So when I hear it again, I want to be able to
it fits really well in like horror movies and stuff. It can be very, haunting. Very aggressive. Yeah.
Threatening. Mm-hmm. I just have a couple of things to talk about that I got myself very irate. Not even just irate. Irate doesn't need a modifier.
Irate.
I was garden variety irate because I shouldn't be surprised anymore, but retreads, man. Hilary Duff is now in How I Met Your Father. How I Met Your Father.
Oh.
We really need this?
Wait, is it?
We really need this?
Did we need the first one?
Yes, that was cute. It was cute for several seasons. It was a cute film, a cute series. Watched with my wife. Really enjoyed that. And so yes, I am on the record. I'm on the record. I had a good time with How I Met Your Mother. I thought that was fun, and it brought us Agent Maria Hill. So I'm just saying.
Is it? It's not the same story, but told backwards, right? No, because Haley Duff wasn't, or whatever name you said wasn't in the first one. Okay, well, I don't. She wasn't in the
first one. It's just essentially swapping genders and telling the whole story. That's what it looks like. It looks totally campy. I don't know. I just got sick of retreads.
I agree.
Enough.
I agree.
And then I posted a link of something that I got excited talking about. Oh, your man's back, Tom.
What?
I can't believe nobody picked this movie.
Oh, Mr. Fogler.
As a trailer. Yeah.
That's right. Dan Fogler's
Fantastic
back
Beasts.
in the new Fantastic Beasts movie. That's very exciting.
Are you, do you watch the Fantastic Beasts movies?
I watched the first one, and I thought he 100% stole the entire movie.
Yeah.
And because I know that they went and did a fair amount of reshoots. And I think a lot of the reshoots that he was involved in were because, and maybe we've talked about this, Eddie Redmayne, who's always interesting, like decided to just be a real creep in the movie. Like his character is like, and he's all cowlick and weird. And I think all the studio was like, who's our likable lead? Yeah. And all of a sudden they gave him like more of a love story and stuff. I think Dan is outstanding in those movies.
Yeah.
But I'm not an enormous fan of the movies themselves. They don't.
That was what I was wondering.
Yeah,
if since they're literally about magic, that they don't have magic for you is a telling bit of cinema irony. I watched this trailer, and for the first time, I found myself actually provoked to be interested in it.
Oh.
I think the recasting was smart. Yep. I think I think it looks good, and of course we watched. We need to talk about Kevin recently, so. I mean, diabolical to see, him show up in this movie. Again, it just reminds me of what range he has, and there's just a lot of talent on screen of people taking these things very, very seriously.
Right.
This I sort of felt in this trailer the same way I felt about the Prisoner of Azkaban trailer when I first saw that. I was like, oh, this is going to be a little bit of a serious movie now. This is going to be different than the other two.
You could tell that I'm
interested in
Columbus wasn't in charge anymore.
Yep.
And it wasn't as paint by the numbers. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I got very excited in the last line in the trailer when he says, you can't use this. I got it as a Christmas present. I thought he's a funny guy. And
good.
I am delighted that you have directed him.
Excellent.
In the past.
It was a pleasure.
That's fun. The other big news is did HBO Max win the year? And I am curious how you guys are using HBO Max. The story is that HBO Max was started with just sort of middling to fair results and really struggled to get their properties off the ground in an incredibly competitive streaming market.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make this announcement to do day-and-date releases of their entire 2021 slate, including very big movies, including, and
the Warner Brothers movies.
The Warner Brothers movies. Yeah, I'm sorry. Specifically the Warner Brothers movies. Got a lot of gnashing of teeth from directors and producers and studios, and ended up, releasing the biggest of the big, all the way up to, so far, Dune, which is literally the biggest of the big in terms of just cinema experience.
Right.
It is a massive, massive film, and they released them all at home as well as on HBO Max. I am curious how your habits around HBO Max have evolved. Has it become one of your premier sort of streamers? Is it a subscription you keep around?
Well, Succession is on HBO Max, so it but I've always been a big HBO fan in general. I think the HBO Max streaming service is, there's a lot of good content on there.
Mayor of Easttown.
Sorry. There
you go.
Yeah, there's a lot of good content on there, and I really enjoy it. I find that even with the bigger movies, though, I'm still, I'm now comfortable going back to theaters, so I'm doing that. So even though I can watch the next Matrix movie at home, I will watch it in theaters. But I think that it adds to it, and maybe it helps them with their subscription base. Although my curiosity with it is that whether or not they're counting these as paid subscribers, because there's a lot of people that still are on, like if you went to, I think AT&T was giving it to you for a year for free, that you could get it other ways. Like you didn't have to pay for it.
That's how we have it. Because it's bundled in our AT&T wireless plan. We have the premier family plan for each of our accounts in our family. And so everyone in my family that has a phone has their own HBO Max account.
Right.
So somehow that revenue is being shared. Somehow they're getting compensated. But I think, Mayor of Easttown, Succession, those are all great examples of Flight Attendant. They are critically acclaimed shows. And but the case is being made that without this massive tentpole release schedule of all the Warner Brothers movies, that those shows would have been largely undiscovered, and they would not have had the sort of virality that they have, because HBO Max has, as it turns out, been much more successful in getting their eyeballs on the service.
But HBO was already a pay service, so
it was.
I don't see how HBO Max isn't just a natural transition. I was already paying for HBO.
Well, they really biffed the transition. HBO did. People were so confused. They didn't know. There was never they just never came out and said it's all just HBO Max now. They never really made it go over. So a lot of people just got lost in the wilderness, and Roku couldn't get HBO Max for a really long time. It was a tough thing. So maybe what the idea is that these movies forced people to figure it out.
Yes. That is what it is. I think that's really the case. It does. Just because of the way time works right now, you have to kind of think back to this release. And Tom's right; it was a hot mess.
Okay,
figuring out how to do that before.
You're right.
Yeah, and so now we're just on the heels of the release of And Just Like That, the new Sex and the City spinoff sequel, big properties for a big portion of the audience. Maybe that's not us, but it's a big portion of the audience. The way I actually love the day and date, and now I'm also going back to the theaters too, and I find myself getting very excited about seeing the movie the first time in the theater and coming home and immediately watching it again.
That's probably what I'm going to do with the Matrix, because I saw Dune in the theater, and I'm definitely going to see Matrix. Because I tried for so long to keep my expectations for this Matrix down, and I've lost the ability, and my expectations are sky high. And every time I'm like, Jupiter Ascending, Tom, what are you doing? But nope, I'm going in hot. I'm so excited for that movie.
I think it was Empire or Hollywood Reporter. Somebody did a fantastic interview with Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss that we'll drop in the show notes. It's like 18 minutes. And Keanu Reeves just absolutely craps all over cryptocurrency and NFTs specifically. And like just hearing him talk about the world is so amazing and charismatic and fantastic. Like I am with you. I tried to keep it down, but I am 100% in for this movie. I cannot.
All those deja vu ads.
Wait.
I'm fascinated. I'm really interested.
Yeah, I tried to avoid all the trailers, and then I accidentally saw one the other day. So now I'm in the same boat as you guys are.
Yep.
Yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to it. And and also cutting back to whether or not I'm a Miranda. I am one of the I'm one of the rare people. I think, at least I'm thinking I'm rare. I may not be. The first iteration of Sex and the City, I saw every episode. It was appointment viewing. I loved it. Once the finale hit, and then you saw on Carrie Bradshaw's phone, John, and you knew that was Big. You learned that was Big's name. I was done. There was nothing else I needed to know about these women's lives, the stories, anything. I haven't seen anything since. Like none of the movies. I'm not going to watch this reboot. I was like, you know what? I felt that you gave me a good, complete story, and now I don't want you to mess it up by giving me this new stuff.
Ocean, you and I are friends. We've known each other a long time, and I don't think I have stumbled yet on a single point that we agree on more than that. It was appointment viewing for me, watched every single episode, and John. And then I was done. I didn't watch any of the movies, didn't need them, and now I'm spoiled on the first episode of what they have done, and I have to admit, I'm a little bit irate. I'm a little bit irate of what it's cheap, and I'm not interested in watching it at all. They've just cemented my decision not to watch any more Sex in the City. Yeah, done. All right, let's do trailers.
Trailers!
I get to go first.
You do.
And I wasn't ready. Delightful.
I think you actually were first, and you A24'd it. Like you wanted to.
I did.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ensure it. You would think that I would.
Discussing yours first.
You would think I would be more prepared. I mean, it took about 15 seconds for me to copy and paste the URL after I pressed play to know that I was going to talk about this. On this show the moment it dropped. I am talking about an amazing new film from writer-directors Dan Kwan and Daniel Scheinert called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
Now, you may only see a pile of receipts, but I see a story. I can see where this story is going. It does not look good.
What's happening?
Evelyn, I'm not your husband. I'm another version of him from another universe. I'm here because we need your help.
Very busy today. No time to help you.
Across the multiverse, I've seen thousands of Evelyns. You can access all their memories, their emotions, even their skills. There's a great evil spreading throughout the many verses. And you may be our only chance of stopping it.
Don't make me fight you. I am really good.
I don't believe you.
It's really good.
We don't know a lot about this movie, but I can tell you that it stars, a 60-year-old Michelle Yeoh still kicking amazing ass in this movie. So we get a little bit of that of martial arts. We also have this being John Malkovich vibe that I am so attracted to. This just merges so many of the styles and tones that of all the movies that I love. I have no idea how to make sense of the story. What we know, at least the log from IMDb, an aging Chinese immigrant is swept up in an insane adventure where she alone can save the world by exploring other universes, connecting with the lives she could have led. And that gives us this opportunity to see her doing a lot of character work. In fact, everybody in this movie seems to be doing a ton of character work as they're sort of living through the experiences of other universes of them. I think it looks absolutely wonderful. The cast, we've already mentioned Jamie Lee Curtis with Michelle Yeoh, Stephanie Su, Ke Huy Quan, James Hong, Andy Lay, Anthony Molinari. It is a massive cast that looks just really, really fun. What did you guys think of this?
I thought really a couple things. One, I love Michelle Yeoh, so I'm already 50% in the seconds I see her in there. Two, I did like the premise and the idea. It seems to be a different take on, the whole multiverse concept, right? So part of it, I found myself torn in that I'm watching this thinking, hey, this is a really good imaginative way to do this type of story. But timing-wise, we're entering the multiverse in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so will this be perceived as they're trying to piggyback or kind of jump on the coattails of people now being willing to accept this type of movie? If so, great, because it looks like it's very well done. It's clearly a different story because I didn't see Spider-Man in the trailer anywhere. But it looks great and entertaining, and I like the actors in it. So there's a lot of ingredients in there that I liked, and you did just jump over. I think it's Ke Huy Quan's there's his best credit, which is he's a short round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh wow!
Because I kept looking at him in the trailer, going like, I recognize that face, and I could not face why. But it's Short Round. So I am excited to see Short Round as an adult and have multiple universe versions of him in this movie. So so I'm very excited for it, and hope I hope that this is released in theaters. I don't know if it will be or not, if it'll be something we'll see only on video. But either way, I'll definitely check this out.
I'm interested. There's there's a lot of big things happening in culture right now. How culture, TV, video games, movies reflect the culture that we're in. There's a lot of multiverse things happening right now in movies. And in video games, there's been an explosion of games built around time loops. Being caught in a certain amount of time and having to figure things out as you go around and around and around. I have nothing interesting or smart to say about that yet, but I'm interested about what we're dealing with. How that's helping us, whether that's just our anxieties about the pandemic coming through at times, how time sort of got stretchy and weird during that period. It's interesting. I really like to keep an eye on that stuff, especially when there's a convergence of things, or like when there was like an anomaly. I always go back to one. I know it's way out of date and stuff. When American Sniper came out and was a massive hit, the reason is like, why? Why did America need that right now? I just like it. I like when movies are talking back to us and we're reflecting our own thing. I'm wondering what this will turn out to be.
It is interesting, and I know in our own community, bringing up the multiverse is it's a challenged topic because so many people in our own community have a strong opinion about using the multiverse as a cheap out in writing. Like it is just at this point we now have an inbuilt excuse to get out of trouble by introducing multiverse.
There's no more corners to paint yourself into.
There's no more. Exactly. Thank goodness there's a multiverse and we can just drop through a magic portal and a sky beam and then everything's okay, right? So I think that is a really interesting comment. And this movie, I hope it can be a legitimate exploration of other lives. I think that's the way it's being presented.
Right.
Like you get to see what if you had gone down these paths, but you don't get to live them. Like that. I like that constraint better. So it is what it is, but I will say Michelle Yeoh obviously was in Shang-Chi, and also in Shang-Chi was Wong and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. So I'm not saying Spider-Man won't show up, is all I'm saying.
You really Kevin Bacon it.
If they had a post-credit sequence with Spider-Man, that'd be the best. Just like, let the movie be what it is, but there's a post-credit sequence where Spider-Man
even if she's just watching like Electric Company Spider-Man, that would be enough. That would be enough for me. Mwah. All right. Tommy, you had the next one.
I did have the next one. This is actually a script that I read back when it was on the blacklist, I believe in 2018 or 2019. And I never thought that it was going to be made. I think it was used as a writing sample because the conceit of it is so insane. If you've ever wanted to ask, what's the most Nick Cage can be? It turns out the answer is Nick Cage. This is the unbearable weight of massive talent.
Nick, you've been living at the Sunset Tower for over a year.
They love having me there.
You owe them $600,000.
Okay, I'm gonna deal with all that, but I'm gonna get this next role. And when I do, all of that changes. Then I'm back.
Not that you went anywhere.
Nicolas Cage, oh my God, I love you. He was so good in The Rock.
What about Gone in 60 Seconds?
Have you seen Croods 2?
No, I'm 44 years old. Why would I see Croods 2? I've seen Face Off and Con Air.
We got another offer.
What's it about?
You head to southern Spain and you attend a wealthy gentleman's birthday party.
I would never do that.
It's $1 million, Nick.
I'll take it. The guy that owns this house, what's his name?
Javi.
Yeah, Javi.
Mr. Cage.
Excuse me, is Javi going to want me to,
I'm not sure I understand.
Look, it's Javi.
I am Javi.
Nick Cage.
The basic conceit of the movie or the script, which I'm sure has changed dramatically since I read it years ago, is that a hard up for money Nick Cage, which is Nick Cage. He famously lost a ton of money over the years, and that's why he's in every single movie that comes out, gets hired for like the birthday party on an island of some sort of like a rich person or a dictator, and he has him like go through a bunch of his old movie roles because he's such a huge Nicolas Cage. So it's Nicolas Cage poking fun at Nicolas Cage, and I can't believe that they actually made it. I think it's fascinating.
I can't get over quite how excited I am for this movie. Right? Like, come on. I'm kind of on a Nick Cage kick, and it's hard to watch all of Nick Cage's movies because he got to a point where he's just saying yes to everything.
Right.
But when this one started and you get a little bit of a sense of maybe quiet Nick Cage in the beginning, I got very excited about it. And then he gets
very loud,
like doped or stoned, and gets very, very loud. And him and Pedro Pascal, who I'm also just a brand new unabashed fan. Like, I just think he just burst into, into my sort of viewing life. And I think the two of them look terrific together. It is just an amazing bit of charisma on screen. I'm so excited that someone took a risk on this movie, and I hope it does incredibly well. It should do very well.
Let me think the best way to phrase this. I do like Nick Cage as well. I get the funness of Nick Cage, especially the movies he's making now, where they're just kind of these insane romps of where you can tell that yes, he's saying yes to anything, and he's the reason these movies are getting made. Because there's been the last few Nick Cage movies I've seen is like, oh, you take Nick Cage out of this movie, and no one's making this, right?
Yeah.
So then this looks funny and it looks fun. Again, I also agree with you. Pedro Pascal, who I've recently come to really appreciate his work as well, looks very funny in what they're doing, and so it looks it looks like a fun, entertaining thing. I don't know that I'd rush out to theaters to see it. I would definitely, watch it at home. And I think that, it has seeing this has now inspired me to do a little mini Nick Cage marathon and just end it off with this. Just take a couple, 2 or 3, because there's so much Nick Cage. I still have 2 or 3 movies I haven't seen yet that I want to see of his, and so then I'll just throw this out at the end of it and spend a Saturday afternoon with Nick Cage.
That's fun. You can't watch all of Nick Cage's movies in a Saturday afternoon.
No.
You need a month of Saturday.
No, I'd pick a couple.
You're not doing everything. Got it.
Oh my goodness, no. You'd need a week.
That's what I would say. Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those.
I do love that the title of the movie in Mexico is, or in Italy is Il Talento de Mr. C.
Oh, I like it.
God. May we all age into a name like that.
For those that are interested in seeing it in the theaters, this will open April 22nd of next year. The end.
Ocean is also present. Ocean, you have a trailer. It's such an appropriate trailer for this show.
I do. You could have skipped over. My trailer is basically you take some Sandra Bullock, add some Channing Tatum, and sprinkle in some Daniel Radcliffe with the funny, and go. The name of the movie is The Lost City.
You led me straight to the Lost City. Now, prepare to die.
There are just hundreds of snakes in this temple just waiting for us to show up.
What? Why aren't they biting that guy?
This is ridiculous. Delete. Delete. Delete.
Listen, Loretta, we need you to promote your new book on the Lost City. You can't spend your life in the bathtub drinking Chardonnay with eyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's sexiest cover model, Dash McMahon!
You do know you're not Dash, right? Dash is a character I made up. Dash! Oh my God. Oh, crap.
Miss Sage, I enjoyed your book about the Lost City, and I believe you're the one who can help me find its treasure.
I have to respectfully decline.
I'm afraid I must insist.
Unchain me!
That's your seatbelt.
Oh, no. Loretta Sage is missing.
I'm gonna rescue her. I just want her to think of me as more than a cover model.
Let's start living dangerously.
Alan, what are you doing here?
We're here to save you. I'm certified CPR, I'm certified CrossFit. I have snacks.
After them!
This is like your book. We're on a Lovemore and Dash adventure right now.
I'm gonna help you out a little bit.
Let's go.
What are you doing? Don't do that. Oh, God, get out of there. This is not a romance novel. Jungles eat people like us.
Ah, what is that? Get it off. Please. I can feel him sucking my soul. Ripper like a bandit. Don't make that sound. Feels like there's more.
Holy Mother of God.
They're just sucking on my butt like a big old Jamba Juice.
We're so close. I could actually find the Lost City.
If I don't get to this island, my friend and her cover model are going to die.
I am driving.
Oh.
Loretta Sage, getting you out of here.
Why are you so handsome?
My dad was a weatherman.
Hey, whoa, she doesn't need saving in there.
Okay.
What are you doing in there?
So this trailer, the trailer looks like a kind of a standard, what I would consider your standard action comedy movie, where you have good actors who are being funny together in a ridiculous situation, and you have with the main 3 actors throughout the movie doing their thing, and then you sprinkle and add on the Brad Pitt. Who is added near the end as a handsome, I guess, adventurer rescuer person. So it looks fun. It looks fun and entertaining. I don't think that I'm not going to run out to theaters to go see this. It is one of the things where I will wait till I can see it in the comfort of my living room, of my couch. But I think it's a nice little fun, entertaining movie to kind of distract you for a couple hours in an evening.
It seems like a fun throwback to things like Romancing the Stone. We don't really make movies like this. Or Jewel of the Nile?
Jewel of the Nile.
Yes, that was the sequel. Yeah, because it has a little bit of that fish out of water, but also Indiana Jonesy, but also, we don't really do stuff like this, which makes it kind of fun. This alongside something like Undefeated? Nope. What's the new
Talk about The Unforgivable?
Nope. The Tom Holland Mark Wahlberg famous line of video games. Doesn't matter. It's something.
Because
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Drake's.
It's kind of fun that we're going back into these kind of films because it's been a really long time. I kind of feel like since like National Treasure. So this seems like it's fun, and I can sense the chemistry between them already in the trailer. So I'm excited.
First of all, seeing Sandra Bullock in this kind of a role is
fun and funny again.
It's fun and funny again.
It's been a while. Even when she was in Ocean's 8 on purpose, she was so underplayed it. She was like a drag.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And so I think that you have to remember that she was first and foremost a comic actor. Like she has such an innate and effortless gift of being funny, even when she's being kind of the straight woman character. I think she's just really great. And she's done Unforgivable and Bird Box and Our Brand is Crisis and Gravity. And like, that's just a lot of serious, Sandy. And so I think that's great. And I just heard her on doing the promo for the Unforgivable, and she was on Smartless podcast. And she was just so neat to listen to. Like to listen to her speak as a human being, I find her really charismatic. Now, of course, also Channing Tatum is in it, and Channing Tatum has like oozed his way into the DNA of the Saturday Matinee thanks to the Rob Cabasco Memorial List Challenge and the Step Up movies. So that absolutely exists. And I will say, just as a way to see if Rob listens to this show, he might be getting a Christmas present from Santa, Pete, and Kyle Claus delivered to his house. And I just want to see if he notices that it might have come from somebody related to the show. So
exciting.
I feel like that is really fun. And I love the surprise of Brad Pitt. They're clearly having a good time making this movie. And as the guy who is on the record as liking Red Notice, I think this could be a really fun follow-up back to the jungle. So there you go.
Yes.
Hooray!
Yes. And so, the continuing adventures of Gracie Lou Freebush will release in theaters on March 25th.
Was that the working title?
Oh, that was a deep cut. Gracie Lou Freebush is the name of the character in Sandra Bullock in Miss Congeniality. Her cover character's name is, because she's Sarah Hart. I think it's Hart is her last name in her character. Yeah. But in the pageant, she is Gracie Lou Freebush. And honestly, a lot of when I was watching this trailer, I thought, oh, that's like Gracie Lou Freebush. So anyway,
that was a deep cut. Yeah. That was well played. All right.
The end.
Let's play a game. All right. Since this is our last episode before we take just a week off going into the Christmas season, I was actually sent a DM in Discord, knowing who was going to be on the show with me this week, that I should run the following quiz as a speed round quiz to see how well you guys know the movies that launched with one of the greatest holiday movies of all time, Die Hard. This is a test your film knowledge quiz this celebrates actually the 25th anniversary of the release of the movie, which was, of course, 8 years ago. So this quiz actually celebrates the 33rd anniversary of the film. You see, there's a lot of math involved.
Tommy, I was equally confused with you. Yeah. I was like 25, 8 years ago.
This has been around a long time, but we're gonna do it. Like, okay. We're gonna do it as a speed round.
Okay,
as a speed round, and see how well you know the movies. Now,
buzzers.
This quiz actually relates to all the movies in the Die Hard canon.
How many of them are there?
He's five.
And so let's see how well you do.
Is this a buzzer or what, are we going back forth?
Let's do say your name.
Got it. I'm going to say Prefontaine based on an earlier set.
Yeah, that's a good callback. Good callback. I'm sure everybody gets that. All right.
How dare you?
All right. Here we go. Cue the music. What does John McClane do for a living?
Prefontaine. He is a cop in New York City.
Police detective, yes. What is John McClane's catchphrase?
Prefontaine.
Is everybody saying Prefontaine right now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have to have your own name.
I'm sorry. Your name.
But I'll let you take it.
Okay. Ocean.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yes, it is. Who was the villain in Die Hard 4?
Oh, Ocean.
Ocean.
The actor is... the actor
Prefontaine.
The actor is...
Tom Steele.
Am I allowed to?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't get it yet.
Timothy Oliphant?
That's the actor.
No.
Different movie.
Well, yes, but what was the character name? Who was the villain in the movie? Do you remember?
Oh.
Mr. Oliphant? Timothy Elephant.
Ooh.
Thomas.
Rob Cabasco.
Ocean?
I only know. Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm actually going to give you a choice and see if you actually heard me.
Oh, okay.
Jan Gruber, Colonel Stewart, Simon Petrikas, Thomas Gabriel.
Well, it's Thomas Gabriel.
Me, Thomas Gabriel. I love
Thomas Gabriel. There you go.
Ocean
what
got it.
was Samuel L. Jackson's Die Hard character called?
Ocean.
Zeus. Yes, it was. Well played.
Yes,
excellent.
Zeus. That is nowhere in my
He
name.
was like, "Hey Zeus." He goes, "Hey Zeus, do I look Mexican? No, I look Puerto Rican to you. Your name is Zeus."
All right.
Name the building the first Die Hard took place in.
Ocean.
Prefontaine.
Ocean had that one.
The Nakatomi Tower. Or Nakatomi.
Tomi.
I
don't know. It's up to you, Pete.
Right. It's up to you.
I would
it's
give
up to you. Yeah.
Tom, can you fix it?
Nakatomi Plaza.
Yes, it was Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah. You deserve it. If I don't get it.
Oh, thank
If
you.
I don't get it 100% right,
Ocean.
this is,
Thank you.
Name the chauffeur sent to pick up John McClane in Die Hard.
Dang. Prefontaine.
Tom.
But give me a 10-second countdown, then Ocean can take it.
You're just, this is sort of holding space now. I don't think there's
It is.
safeties.
It's not really allowed, is it? That's not how games work. But I know I can get it.
Come on.
Lionel, Daryl,
and
Ocean for the steal. I know. I was thinking this. I was trying to think of his name. It's like Styles or something weird like that, or Marshawn or something. Styles, something odd. Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Man, it's Argyle.
Argyle. Yes,
I said
Styles.
Daniel.
The last part was right.
That's it. Argyle.
Something
That's
odd.
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Die Hard is legendarily a Christmas film. Die Hard 4 is also a holiday movie. Which day does Die Hard 4 take place on? Ocean.
4th of July.
Yes, it does.
Wowee.
What is Frederick Kaludis's hacker name?
Frederick Kaludis's.
The
touchdown is Toes.
That's Justin Long's
that's the quarterback.
character. Yeah, the quarterback is Toes. That's Justin Long's character because they say.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, because it's the name that when he goes to find him, it's the name he's looking for him under. I don't remember.
You don't know, Tommy? Do you know?
Nope.
All right, I'm going to give you some choices.
Great.
Weasel.
No.
Wizard.
Maybe.
Walter.
Don't like it.
Warlock.
I'm going to say Wizard. Ocean, you want to take Warlock?
I'm going to go Warlock.
Yeah.
It is Warlock.
Nice.
Where is Die Hard with a Vengeance set?
Which one is that? You probably can't tell me.
Ocean. Die Hard with a Vengeance is in New York City.
It is in New York City. Die Hard 2 takes place how long after Die Hard?
Ocean.
2
years.
1 year.
He's an LA cop at that point.
As a bonus, what airport?
Prefontaine.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Stapleton International Airport for the Colorado crowd. Okay. In Die Hard, it's a stand-in for Dulles. The exterior stuff is all. Yeah, it's a stand-in for Dulles. Stapleton is no longer there.
But famously, they picked it because they wanted the snow, and famously, it did not snow during production.
Right.
They had to pump in snow.
Manufacture snow in Colorado. Yeah, that's great. In Die Hard, how does McClane get the attention of Sergeant Al Powell?
Prefontaine.
Yep.
Welcome to the party, pal. He throws a dead body onto the car and then he shoots for an alarming amount of time. He makes Swiss cheese out of the car, and every time that part of the movie, I'm like, he got it. Jeez Louise. And then he comes out and all his Twinkies are flat. The end.
I think that moment is really a demonstration of his expert marksmanship, that he could shoot that many bullets at a car and not hit him at all.
Not hit him at all.
I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Who is the villain in Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Ocean.
Ocean.
Simon Peter Gruber.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Well done.
What was the relation?
He was Hans Gruber's brother.
Brother. Got it. Okay.
That's actually the way the guy says it when he's in the van.
Oh, does
they're
it?
talking about it. Yeah, he says it all. It's a lot of dramatic pause. Like it's just like the biggest reveal ever.
Follow-up question. Who played the villain in Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Ocean. Jeremy Irons.
Ocean. Jeremy Irons. Yes,
nice.
All right. In what year was Die Hard released?
Got nothing.
Oh, Ocean.
Ocean.
1989. Oh, wait, that's just silly. It's got to be 1988. You just told us.
I just did the math in front of you in order to explain the answer to this question. It is 1988. The first Die Hard movie takes place on which day? We've already talked about it.
Is it straight up Christmas?
The first Die Hard?
Christmas Eve.
The first Die Hard, Christmas Eve.
Is it Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve party.
The work party is on Christmas Eve.
The Christmas Eve. Yeah, who would be there for
exactly.
that?
That's a lot of commitment to your job.
And then who would be there having sex on a desk? Nobody. Nobody would do that.
If you have
Not
a family
Christmas
at
Hans, Bubby.
Bubby. What game did Simon Gruber want to play in Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Prefontaine.
You can take it, Tommy.
Ooh, all right.
Simon Says.
Simon Says. What is the name of John McClane's wife?
Ocean. Jenna Moreno. Gerardo? That's her last name.
Gerardo. Oh, I got it. Prefontaine.
Yeah.
Dom?
Holly Gennaro.
Holly Gennaro.
Yes.
Gerardo.
Gennaro. Yeah, I was like, well, I realized halfway through I was saying the last name and not the first name.
Yeah.
Her name was Harry Geronimo.
Who heads up the terrorists in Die Hard 2?
I know the name of the actor. Does that count?
No. I mean, if it makes you feel good. Ocean.
Yeah, Colonel Stewart.
Colonel Stewart.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Rose. Yeah.
And last question. What's the name of John McClane's daughter?
Daughter?
And if you picture in Die Hard, there's a kitchen scene in the house when Holly calls, when they're talking to the maid who's there, answers the phone. She says, what's her name? In bed or whatever. And I talk to the daughter. And that is 3, 2,
nothing.
Lucy Gennaro.
Gennaro? Wouldn't she be Lucy McClane?
It was Lucy McClane.
Lucy
You're right.
Yeah, because the daughter.
We meet her again.
Yeah,
we do.
She's in Die Hard. Live Free or Die Hard. She's in that, but again, she's just a MacGuffin. She's there for 5 minutes to then introduce the
airport drop off, right?
Yeah, then she's like a segue to get to Warlock, right? And then that's it. Then she just goes away.
Yeah,
and I do applaud the quiz for leaving out any questions about whatever the fifth Die Hard was. So.
right. Yeah, well done, quiz. Not only was the quiz exceptional in its restraint, you both win all the friendship. Well done. Outstanding play. And my goodness, MacGuffin McClane needs to be a character in a movie. What's
MacGuffin McClane? Did someone say that when I was frozen?
It was Ocean.
Yes,
I said, what's the name of McClane's daughter? He said MacGuffin, which is amazing. All right. Hey, happy holidays, everybody. A couple of things. If you are not a member of our now infamous membership program here at The Next Reel, head over to thenextreel.com/membership, because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, last minute gifts. What am I going to get Pete and the team over at The Next Reel? Well, I don't even know what we're going to do. Well, this is what you do. Nextreel.com/membership. And you can sign up. And for a couple bucks a month, you end up with access to the super triple secret channels in Discord. You can join our fantastic community of movie lovers. And you can get access to the live streams when we record these shows. They are great. You get your own personal podcast feed where you get episodes released early, week early, sometimes more. And now we're just dumping a lot of the raw live streams in there. People have said they want to hear the raw, unedited live streams, not just early access, but just raw stuff. So we're putting more raw stuff in there. It's fun, and sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's really not and makes everybody regret their decisions. But again, we're going to lean on the funny parts. We hope you will consider that. And we track all of our movies and our watch lists over at Letterboxd. We love Letterboxd. Letterboxd.com/thenextreel is where you can find our Letterboxd HQ page. We post all of the reviews of all the movies that we talk about. You can see what movies we are going to be talking about on shows upcoming so that you can watch along and then come talk to us as we podcast about them. If you fall in love with Letterboxd, and we hope you do because it's a fantastic service run by fantastic people, just click on the little upgrade button and you can take your free account and upgrade it to Pro or Patron. And with the code NEXTREEL at checkout, they're going to give you 20% off your upgrade fee. Upgrades or renewals. Counts for everybody who wants to spend money with Letterboxd. Join the club. Really, really fun. And if you like tracking your movies and writing reviews and reading wonderful reviews from other people who love movies, this is the place. This is the best of the social networks. I'm telling you, the best of the social networks.
Take that, Friendster.
It's time for the Rob Cabasco Memorial List Challenge.
Hooray!
How did we get saddled with this?
Yeah, I found that, I don't know, I guess this is my life and times in my the life and death of my membership of the Rob Cabasco fan club, in that it was I was on an island, and I felt that I was on an island. I was defending Rob Cabasco in his choice of Step Up 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I was like, this was imaginative. I was with him on it. There was a theme there going for it, and he did pick Step Up 3D, which is a movie that is bad, yes, but I can defend it, and I respected that. And I was the only lone voice in the wilderness saying, yeah, no, there is some value in what he did, even if you don't like it. I was with him, and then I heard the last Sat Mat, and the amount of copious thought that went into the choice of this list of, I don't know, Saddest Christmases, and not giving a single thought to, aren't most Christmas movies not sad? No. Was that discussed? No. Did anyone even retort that? No. So then I found myself while I was on the Rob Cabasco fan island, I had to step off because I feel that he came up with
off the island.
Yeah, he came up with this list because I think there's some deep-seated animosity towards us. And that's why we are dealing with this list.
And you actually are collateral damage, is what I think you're saying, because you supported the Step Up.
Yeah, I did.
Picks,
right? I did.
And now you've inherited the choice of Saddest.
You still have the Cabasco stink all over you.
Oh, such a Cabasco stink. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I get to go first.
All right.
All right.
Saddest Christmas.
Most of the Christmas movies, as Ocean has said, are not sad. And so I had to lean in on actual elements in movies that I think are so sad that the redemptive follow-on of the sadness is, to me, unbelievable. How's that? Is that a fair way to interpret?
I would think so, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. Maybe. I'll let you know.
My first pick is from 2019. It's a very recent movie, and we just watched it last season because we are big Game of Thrones fans. And boy, that Game of Thrones holiday episode, am I right? It's a real bottle episode, but no, I'm actually talking about Last Christmas. Have you seen Last Christmas with Emilia Clarke?
No, because I figured out the twist in the trailer.
Yeah.
Is that the heart transplant one?
Well, now you've said it.
Whoa.
That's the twist. It's just out there.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's a Paul Feig movie, and Paul Feig movies are real hot and cold for me. But when I like them, I like them. And this one, the whole reveal, the big twist, is one of those like meta devastating things, because not only do you now have the twist, but the fact that her entire relationship reveals some deep-seated psychiatric work in her future, I find really hard to swallow. And so actually, I think it is heralded as a happy ending to a movie where someone has learned lessons and moved on. And I don't think we should have moved on. I think she needs help. And I think I think it is much sadder of a film than many people would otherwise say. It is a 6.5 on the IMDb scale, so it's a fine movie with a fine cast. I really like that Henry Golding, and Emma Thompson's, of course, in it. She's It's tough for her to do wrong. So there you go. And Michelle Yeoh.
Choice. And Michelle Yeoh. We got Yeohs for days.
We got Yeohs everywhere. So that's my pick.
Good work. If you had to pick a hero of Christmas, who would it be? This isn't a trick question. Like, who's the hero of Christmas?
Who's the hero of Christmas?
Yeah.
Well, Santa Claus.
We're going to go, non-religious. Non-religious.
Santa Claus,
well, we just did John McClane. I think it's John McClane.
We're going to say Santa Claus. And Santa Claus has been depicted so many ways in so many films, in so many exciting times, especially when he aforementioned rolled a Vietnam vet for his wallet and then sent him to hell. I'm going to milk it for all it's worth. I'm going with Jacob's Ladder again. This is the fourth time I've brought up Jacob's Ladder in that many weeks. Jacob's Ladder takes place in Christmas. Christmas in hell. The end.
Oh my goodness. Ocean, are you a Jacob's Ladder fan?
I've never seen Jacob's Ladder.
Okay.
The asked and answered.
There you go.
So I do not have an informed opinion on the movie.
All right.
Enough.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right. But
let's go. Ocean number 3.
Honestly, now that we're celebrating it as a Christmas movie, I think I am going to try to add that to my list so I can take a look at it. Okay, so I don't know if I've mentioned that I hate this list, but what I decided to do is to say, all right, I just took movies. So the way I decided to interpret this, because again, Christmas movies are not usually sad, is I took movies where a sad situation happens around Christmas time. So,
okay.
That for what it's worth.
That works.
So my first one, and is one that I normally would not pick, but again, it was hard to find lists for this, was it is a situation where, and since in celebration of Tommy's name, Louis Winthorpe III is a wealthy commodities director, and he's engaged to a beautiful woman and living a prosperous life until just before Christmas. He is framed for being a thief, drug dealer, and philanderer at a large company board meeting. And now this happens just before Christmas. So that now this Christmas, the first Christmas in the movie, he is poor, living on the streets, and relying on the kindness of others as he descends into a depression for the Christmas season. I am, of course, talking about Dan Aykroyd's character in the movie Trading Places.
Wow.
When he is framed, and all the things that were done for him for a bet of $1, when he is framed, it happens just before Christmas. So, Merry Christmas to you, Louis Winthorpe III.
Outstanding pick. I don't think
well done.
Yeah, that's a great pick. All right. My second pick is one that I would say this one, in fact, just makes me sad. Possibly because it exists.
This is just like a home movie.
It's me at 12. A unorthodox Santa Claus fighting to save his declining business. Meanwhile, Billy, a precocious 12-year-old, hires a hitman to kill Santa after receiving a lump of coal in his stocking.
Oh, I want to see this movie.
This isn't a movie.
I had a feeling you would be on board with this movie, Ocean.
I haven't seen this yet. I want to see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
$20 says Nick Cage plays Santa.
No.
You know what? You're actually pretty close at this point in their careers. I'm talking about Mel Gibson as Fat Man. This is a 5.9 on the IMDb scale. Oh, you haven't seen the trailer for this? Fat Man?
The trailer.
Fat Man.
Hilarious.
It is an action movie where Santa goes all weapony and it's extraordinary. I find it. I didn't care for it.
Yeah,
I didn't care for it.
Never heard that it's a thing.
It is a thing.
Still be a weird prank that you're playing on me.
No,
with very little payoff.
Very little payoff, because by the time you go watch the trailer and discover it's real, I will not be talking to you anymore. So, Fat Man.
That's exciting. That's what I'm missing in most Christmas is Mel Gibson. He's a real tis the season kind of guy. All right. My number 2, when you think of Christmas, what do you think about? I think we can all agree. Eggnog, Christmas trees, tinsel, mistletoe, key parties, Elijah Wood being electrocuted in the ice storm. Oh my God, this movie is depressing. Have you seen it? It's about a bunch of sad people. God. Oh, it's a Christmas movie.
Never in a million years would I have imagined this. That was my number 1 pick.
It's a steal?
It's an absolute steal.
That's exciting for me.
God.
The Ice Storm. Have you even heard of it, Ocean?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, Kevin Kline, I think Sigourney Weaver, and it's a bunch of sad people being sad, and then they die, and then a little girl exposes herself to a child or something. It's a mess. Either way, The Ice Storm and a steal. What does that mean? I win Christmas.
You do. You just won Christmas.
Hooray. I got to call my dad.
All right. Ocean, what do you got? Number 2.
So I really only had 2 movies. So I have,
oh, interesting. You really don't like this list.
I have
really interesting strategy.
So yeah,
my third movie is Step Up. I mean, you just walk off the podcast.
Exactly. Step Up 3D. It takes place during Christmas time. If you know what, if it did, that would have been my pick. So yeah. So my middle one is one that is just a massive stretch to get to where I wanted to get to. So I'm just gonna kind of bite the bullet with it. I'll leave the other one that I think makes some sense a little bit to the third. So all of that preamble was to basically lower everybody's expectations of the. Now the movie itself to me is great, but the situation to get it onto this list is just kind of a stretch. So so basically the movie, which is great again, is Batman Returns.
That's the second one?
The second one. The sad point about that movie is the Penguin has the worst Christmas ever in that he is finally, he is living a life where he's finally being accepted by people. And then his mayoral run is ruined and destroyed by a man who dressed up as a bat. And then when he decides that he is going to eke out his revenge and, kidnap all the babies of Gotham and then kill them in the river. Let's just skip over that part. Then he is stopped.
I don't think you're supposed to skip over that part. But
we'll just skip over that part because I want to keep him sympathetic. And then, and then he is found in his lair and he is destroyed by the rockets from a bunch of penguins and falls down. And then he has a very sad death where he needs a drink of water. And in the middle of the city of Gotham, 6 emperor penguins come and escort him into his watery grave, hence creating sadness for not only him but anyone that loved him as he died over the Christmas season in Batman Returns.
Wow. That was a tearjerker of a film pick.
It was.
I didn't know that the movie was principally about the penguin, and now I'm going to watch it with a whole new set of eyes.
Yes, it was.
This is a real Karate Kid twist when I realized that Danny was actually the villain.
Oh, right.
Nice. Yes.
I thought you meant Danny DeVito.
Yes.
That is his name, right? Danny? Is that his name?
Daniel.
Daniel.
Yeah.
But
Daniel, yes, that you called him Danny. I was with you. For a second, I was like going like Danny DeVito. Yeah. But yes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, anyway.
All right. My final pick is a movie that I remember as not a good movie.
Good start.
Let's start with that. It was a Michael Keaton film. Does that get you anywhere?
Well, I already used Batman Returns. So
Gung Ho? No, it's when was it him? Someone was hit by a car and he turned into like a reindeer or something. No, am I thinking of something else? He turned into Santa Claus?
You're talking about a snowman.
He turned into a...
I'm talking about
Jack Frost.
It is Jack Frost. This is a 5.4 on the IMDb scale. And let me tell you, the ticking clock in this movie is... So yeah, the sad part already happens early on, right? Yeah. When he's killed in a car accident. And time passes and he comes back as kind of maniacal looking snowman. Like the eyebrows never quite look
looking
sweet.
Angry.
Yeah, it's an angry snowman. And it joins the sort of family as like the talking mystery thing that the kid has to hide. And all the tropes come into play. And the ticking clock in this movie is, of course, the weather. Right? They're trying to get to this family vacation house where it's frozen and he can like live forever up at a farm upstate. And the, when the sun comes out, he melts and it's really, really sad. And it is legit sad. Like that. I'm not, it's 1980, whatever, 98 or whatever, when it came out. It's like, I'm not spoiling anything. It's legit. He's released into the universe from like the melting of the snow. And that's somehow okay. And so it is, peak sad, also not a great movie. I, in my opinion, let's just say it wasn't for me. So,
right.
Jack Frost.
It's a hard pass.
Hard pass and sad.
My last one. Hey, you know what the best part of Christmas is? Presents. You know what makes it hard to open presents? Scissors for hands. Edward Scissorhands. That was a real inspired lead up. There's a lot of joy and pastels to be found in Edward Scissorhands, but ultimately it ends like Frankenstein, where the villagers are chasing him back up, and a strangely jacked Anthony Michael Hall gets stabbed to death. That nobody saw that coming. So I would think this is a pretty sad Christmas, because I think it ends with him just like sadly living up in Vincent Price's castle, right? Maybe I don't remember the ending.
I don't remember the ending, and so as soon as you said Frankenstein, I imagine Johnny Depp on an ice float, like going off into the sea.
It was something like that. Either way, I think it's sadder than most people remember, and that's a sad Christmas, everybody. The end.
I regret that I don't remember more of that movie. That is a sad. I found
it was
the whole
sad.
movie sad.
Yeah. Well, because he's just misunderstood, and it's not his fault the whole time.
And it's never really redeemed.
No, I think it ends with the villagers chasing him away, and I think they're like, and sometimes you can still hear him scissoring or something.
Yeah,
probably not that, but
it's a real grim, leaning in on the grim style of fabling. All right, hey,
Ocean,
this generally, I think what we have set up here in our first 8 movies is not a great list to recommend to people.
No.
Saddest Christmases.
I don't want to watch any of these movies right now.
What I hope is knowing that Ocean came up with 2, that I hope that what we have done is inspire him. Like a bolt of lightning has come down and he has found a movie that not only has a sad element, but lifts the entire list.
Yes.
Above
Ocean.
Ocean. What do you got? What do you got? Number 3.
Let's put it this way, out to level set the rise of expectations here. Pete and I will like it. So, my final movie.
I don't like this.
My final movie is a tale that starts in communist Russia, and it starts with communist Russia as a young boy who's just living a regular life. Turns out as he gets older, he gets bigger and stronger and taller, and he's now very athletic. The government has gotten a hold of his athleticism and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pump this guy with steroids and teach him how to box. And then finally, he's going to become the world's greatest amateur boxer. He's going to figure out ways to then come while communism is still in place in the 80s and fight for the World Heavyweight Championship. First, he has to fight someone else to get there. He wins that fight in devastating fashions. He is happy. He is on a rise. He is now training, and he has finally gotten the heavyweight champ of the world to agree to come back to Mother Russia and fight him there, where he can then have his crowning moment and the greatest achievement of his life. He gets in this fight and loses by knockout.
Wait, he's the
on the
villain.
same day of his loss, his wife disowns him. This government is ashamed of him, and his life is just it's the first day of the spiral downward of a life of depression throughout the rest of his years. But I ask you, what day did this fight happen? What day should this have been the greatest day of his life?
Wow.
Christmas.
I didn't know that took place on Christmas.
Yes, the fight took
your
place
Blu-ray
on Christmas
player
Day.
is broken. All the villains are heroes in your movie.
Just completely subverted holiday.
You have a protagonist antagonist filter on. You have to retouch that button.
And so, if you haven't figured it out yet, the movie is Rocky IV. And yes, and
oh
the
my
fight
God.
takes place with
that
and
tier
Ivan Drago,
jerker.
yes, who is basically disowned by his country and his family, and has years of depression that aren't resolved until many movies later.
That's it. That's it. 100%. That is absolutely it. And Ocean, I have to tell you,
you did it.
You did it.
You did it.
You did exactly
100%.
what we needed you to do.
Thank you.
100%.
Yeah.
And you sold it. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Perfect.
Chef's kiss.
Well,
perfect.
Done. All right. So here we are. We are left with the awesome responsibility of crafting the list for next time around. And let me tell you, you will be crafting that list for me and Kyle Olson and the many times aforementioned Rob Cabasco.
Okay.
Well, if Rob Cabasco's on the list, should we just start with like happy funeral movies? Just start there.
I was not making
hilarious brisses.
No,
exactly. Well, I see it's the new. So here's the. It's going to be the first one of the new year, right?
That's right. It is actually going to be released on New Year's Day.
Okay.
Oh.
So then Tommy, since Pete should have as little to do with it, he can't put his thumb on the scale too much with this.
Right.
So my thoughts were along the lines of one of, two things. You can either go because it's New Year, something to do with party movies, or since it's also New Year, something to do with like a rebirth, rebirth or new or something that, whether, kind of like you're, entering in a new thing. This is my half-baked idea, but I'm trying to think of some ways to frame that. And I think you can have different ways to do it.
Fresh starts would be a possibility. Like someone making a real fresh start in their life or career or whatever, because that could be a lot of different things.
Okay.
Someone trying to, like with the idea of resolutions, it could be, resolution seems hard.
Well, yeah. And also resolution is more
something about
ending.
a set of rules. What'd you say?
Also, resolution seems to me like an end. I was thinking more like they'd be doing something where it's the beginning. Or,
no, like you make a list of resolutions for New Year's Eve for the next year. So like coming up with a bunch of new rules for yourself or a new code, something like that is an option.
Yeah. But no,
that's sort of along the line of fresh start.
Tough. Yeah. That would be a tough one.
I like fresh starts. I like
you could do
talked about. I swear we talked about something that might
on this show.
Yeah,
that was like for fresh. That would be along those lines. So that we're
I was complaining about retreads. That might have been it. Retreads.
Right. But now you're redoing a thing. So then you could be. Now if this was New Year's for 2021, we could talk about like time loops and time slowing down and stuff like that. But since 2022 should be a new, fresh awakening, and we're back to normal. So I don't know, fresh starts. You could
either fresh starts or drastic life changes.
Okay,
like big life changes. If that's more fun than fresh start, yeah. What do you think?
What I like about I think you could go two different ways on this. One, if it's just fresh starts, then that implies that a character or characters are intentionally making a change in their lives.
Right.
And what I like about drastic life changes is that it could be either they're choosing to make a fresh start or a fresh start is imposed upon them.
Sure.
Well, that would be making it more of a downer. I was trying to make it like an uplifting. Hey,
no, I think it could be really. It gives you an option to like how they things, because sometimes you got to take the red pill or the blue pill. That's a rebirth.
Yeah. It is.
So maybe instead of drastic, we can say dramatic, and that takes the finger off of the set. Drastic has a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So dramatic life changes.
Dramatic life changes.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yes. So, should we
that's
it? Well, should we do it where dramatic life changes like in the middle of the movie? Because not one of those things of where, someone's been like, a grocery clerk throughout the whole movie. Then at the end, it's, you're now the CEO of Amazon. Right. So that it's not like just like an but you know what I'm saying? Like not where it happens right at the end, where it's implied that everything's going to change.
That the movie is about the journey.
The movie is about the change. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. How do you want to phrase it?
So you can just say shown in the movie or shown in, Because right now we're at dramatic life changes.
Right.
You want to
well, I mean, it has to be like the movie is about dramatic life changes.
Or someone just has it during the movie. You see both sides.
What comes after a dramatic life change?
Yeah.
Is there a succinct way to say that?
Yeah. Or
repercussions of a
dramatic life change.
Exactly. We just leave a dramatic life change, and we'll let you three pick your movies, and we know that whoever picks the best movies will pick ones that you can see both sides, and the ones that don't pick that, we'll know what caliber of list picker they are.
Okay, someone's name might get changed in the memorial list picking challenge. Is that what you're saying? I think that's it. We're going to have some sort of a trophy designed for this. That's fantastic. Great list of movies that I don't want to watch except for Rocky. Well done. I think this is going to be really fun. Dramatic life changes for the new year. Real quick, Tommy, what is your New Year's movie of choice?
That takes place on New Year's?
No. Just the movie that you watch on New Year's.
Oh, Ocean, you go first.
Ocean.
I watch Any Given Sunday because on New Year's I grew up watching football, college football all day with all the bowl games. And so if I'm going to watch a movie, it needs to be a football movie, and that football movie is Any Given Sunday.
There you go. All right, Tom, I see you looking at the shelf. You only have 12 movies there.
Yeah, I'm looking over at my shelf. I love to start every new year off with a bright, shining face and feeling good about me and the people around me, so I watch Gone, Baby, Gone. I just picked the saddest movie I could see from my shelf.
But was it on Christmas? For me, I will watch Ronin every chance I get, and now I pretty much put it on if nobody else is around the house. I will put that on New Year's, and because after all the festivities of the night before, you're kind of recuperating, you're having a slow day. So if there isn't a new release, like we're going out in theater, I'll put on Ronin. I love that movie.
The Robert
more
De
than
Niro
many of my friends.
Yeah,
that is a good movie.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, and it works a lot. It works really well on rewatch. So I can pick that. Yeah.
What do we have going on coming up? Show specific stuff. Do we have any? We have one.
Film board. The next film board planned will be this weekend, where I will be joined by Kyle Olson and Rob Cabasco, and we will be discussing Spider-Man. So looking forward to that conversation, as I look forward to all conversations that involve Spider-Man.
Outstanding. We just, as you are listening to this, we're wrapping up our, I think we've wrapped up our 10-year anniversary series. We're into our Anne Hui series, films of Anne Hui, Chinese Hong Kong filmmaker. And we are leading into, I don't even know what we're leading into. Journalists. We're going into journalists movies. So that should be a fun early New Year set of films that we have coming up. We're very excited to get into those movies over on the next reel. Everything else has slowed down a little bit during the January crossover, and we're going to be coming back with lots of other new shows once we get through the new year. So hang tight. And thanks everybody for hanging out. Ocean, Tommy, always a pleasure.
We did it!